It is Money Monday, and you're wondering, what is that? Well, it's a new segment starting today here at 4 o'clock where we talk about easy to understand ways to navigate our finances. Here to help us out is financial expert Paul Hood. And Paul, thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
This is going to be great.
It's awesome
to be able to talk about some of these important things. Let's just jump in right away with just how can we better control our money here? It's a new year, new start.
Sure.
What can we do? What are some tips?
Well, the best thing you could do is what we teach people at our firm is first we have to figure out where your money's going. We sit down and have them take 12 months worth of bank statements, 12 months worth of credit card statements, categorize it, because you would be surprised, Brian, 99% of the people that come into my office have no idea where their money's going. I don't care how much money you make, whether you're making $1 million a year, you're making $10,000 a year, they just don't know where their money's going. So that's the first step. And then the second step is figure out where do you want your money to go. And then that leads into setting up a budget, Brian.
When somebody comes in and they're going through their 12-month statements, what are some of the things that really surprise them that they didn't even realize their money was going to?
Well, sometimes it's actually kind of funny, but we have to be serious. But because, especially if it's a couple, when I tell them that they need to bring in 12 months worth of bank statements so we can see where the money is, usually one of them gets kind of red-faced and gets there's a little apprehension there. But you know, things like eating out, or you know, just going to Starbucks, those kind of things. They don't realize how quick that money goes.
And it does add up very, very quick. How about 3 things right now that those who are watching at home, 3 things this month we can do to start saving a little more? Sure.
Well, what we teach people a lot of times, okay, look at your credit card bills. People have a tendency to do things and then they're automatic charges. A lot of times, sometimes you report your credit card stolen, and all that stuff gets wiped away and you start afresh. Then, you know, we want to look at maybe insurances, your car insurance, your house insurance, your life insurance. You know, are you spending too much money there? As you know, why have a $10,000 car and you have it insured for $30,000? And then just simple things like maybe DirecTV or some of those. You know, how many of us have 500 stations, but we watch 3 or 4? And so just some little things like that to evaluate.
Even your cell phone bill.
Big time.
Are you really using up as many minutes as you're paying for?
That's right.
Yeah, good advice there. How about the tax return check? If we're so lucky to get one back, a lot of people I think see that as, you know, vacation money, spending money. Is there something better we could be using with that? Well, you know, Brian, this is one of the things I really fight with, because people think that is savings. You know, you're giving the government an interest-free loan, and it's really your money. So we teach people that you should be saving that money instead of giving it to the government and then not blowing it. But they do. A lot of people have that, use it as a forced savings account, and then they do big things. So it depends on your plan, what you want to do. If you're already saving 10, 15%, then great. And you want to give the government an interest-free loan and then go on a vacation, fine. But the reality is a lot of times, Brian, I'm sorry, but that's kind of lazy planning. They don't trust themselves to put money into savings that they won't spend it. But then they end up spending it at the end of the year anyway. So I would tell people that they need to invest that savings. They start with half of it. Right. And then work your way to where you're doing it all. And if you didn't max out your Roth, you can drop it right back into there, which is always very good advice too.
Absolutely.
So, and we'll talk a little bit about what a 401k Roth IRA is next Monday to be able to kind of break that down a little bit. Paul, thank you so much for being here. And if you have a financial question you would like me to ask Paul next week on Monday, you can send them to moneymondays@griffin.news. Stay with us. We'll be right back.